What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Thursday Night Paint Nights. I'm your host, Adam. I got my wife over here, Ashley.
Hi, guys.
She'll be answering any of the questions that you have tonight. If she can't answer them, she'll relay them to me. So yeah, let's get this party started. This will be a short and sweet. We're going to be getting some panels prepped that I have back here. They're all bare aluminum. Show you what they look like right here. So they're we do sell these. They're just a motorcycle shaped tank. So we're going to get these prepped. We're going to prime them, and we are going to metal flake and clear coat them, all using rattle can spray paint. So we'll be using, to start, kind of show you the products that we're using. We'll have the aluminum tank shape we talked about. We do have a can of high build direct to metal primer, which is great because we are working on metal. This is direct to metal. This is going to prime the surface and give it a good surface for the paint to stick to. We'll be using black base coat. We'll be doing a variety of a couple of different metal flakes. We'll be doing the silver metal flake that we have in the can here, and a couple of them I figured we'll switch it up. We do have an ice blue and a purple metal flake. So we'll see what those look like. Also, you don't want to forget, we do need panel prep for this. So anytime you sand or paint anything, before you do anything, you should be prepping the parts to make sure all the contaminants are gone with some kind of wax and grease remover. Line panel prep is aerosol. It's easy and it works really good. And last but not least, we will be using the couple cans of the double shot clear coat. This is part A and part B. So it's a 2-component clear coat that's in a can. So there's 2 different canisters in here. And what happens here is once we pull off the little back piece here, we're able to thread the ring into the lug right here. So we'll thread that, we'll pull it, we turn it 360 degrees, and now it's going to release the other component into the can. Because right now we're shaking it up. All we're hearing is the part A. Part B will get, once it's opened, it'll shake it up real good. And this can is good for 24 hours. I did notice if you put it in the fridge, I've had a can last up to 3 days. In fact, I popped this one open 2 days ago. Put it in the refrigerator. We'll see how well it sprays. So this is 2 days old. I didn't spray much out of it. Did a couple of things, put it in the fridge, and we'll see how and if that still sprays. So cool. I'm going to take you guys into the booth real quick. We're going to get these, first things first, we're going to get them cleaned up.
What size is the flake in the spray can?
There's a 0.004 is what it is. The reason why we did 0.004 is because once flake gets so big, it does start to clog up the can. And really, you still have just as much sparkle without as much texture. Once you get into those bigger flakes, you have all that texture to deal with. So that means more coats of clear, more sanding in between before you even start the graphics. Okay. Let's jump into the booth real quick. We'll get you sanded up.
Hashtag
cleaned.
wear your PPE.
Oh yeah, we got it. All right. We have 5 panels we'll be spraying today. So, like I said, first things first, before we even sand on these, we need to make sure that they're completely clean. Because if we just start sanding on these, we're just taking that grease and whatever's contaminants that's on that metal, and we're just driving it in, making things worse. So, clean it up first, and then we will get ready to spray our primer. You see I'm just wiping in one direction because if you take a look at the rag, you can see the grease and the contaminants that it's pulling off. So I'll just kind of flip the rag around to a clean side. Okay, good and clean. We're going to go ahead and take the Limeline 600 grit sanding sponge, and we're going to give these just a little bit of an etch. See, we're just putting just a little bit of scratches in it. This will help the primer adhere to that. So not much, just kind of brushing it across the surface. So the process we're doing here is going to be the same for anything that you're painting that's metal. So whether it's a motorcycle tank, a fender, a car hood, this process is kind of the same. We are using spray paint here. If you're doing a whole car hood, probably you'd want to get into a gun and some liquids. So, but it would work still. It won't work. All right, I'm gonna clean these up one more time. Wipe them down. Any of the remaining dust that might be on there. Okay, perfect. We're done with this. I'll go ahead and grab the primer. Okay, this is a high build primer, Limeline. It is a light gray. This is direct to metal, so it'll stick to metal, aluminum, plastic. And the nice thing about this stuff is it dries fast. It is just a 1K. So spraying parts like this is perfect for a 1K. And now, if you have bare metal and you're painting your motorcycle parts, maybe it's a tank, a fender, you know, you could use this and you could get away with it. The better way would be using a 2-part system, part A and part B, and using your spray gun. But this will definitely get you by if you're doing any kind of spot primering or panels, skateboards, anything like that. Yes, it is. Well, it's not a self-etching primer, but does have characteristics of etching that etches right into the metal. But there is another product called a self-etching primer, but it doesn't really build. It goes on really thin. This actually etches and builds.
Is the 2K clear can high build or medium build?
The 2K clear coat, it's a medium build. Okay, I've got my respirator here. We'll slap that guy on. Okay. Got good atomization. All right, let's do it. Okay, that's really it. That's all we're gonna need is just the one coat, considering we are spraying metal flake. However, if we were going to go straight to a base color and leave it a base color, say white, orange, any normal color that's not a metal flake, we would probably apply 2 more coats and sand it smooth, clean it up, and then apply the base coat. Um, when it comes to metal flake, it's pretty forgiving because we're putting on quite a bit of texture because of the flake. So really, apply we're able to apply that metal flake directly over the primer without sanding in this case. This is a 1K, so we can get away without sanding. If we were using a 2K, you would definitely want to wait for this to dry, sand it, and then move forward with the base coat. But it looks like this is already starting to dry pretty good. It's already starting to dry. So let's get that metal flake ready. I'll get the booth. I'm sorry, I'm jumping the gun a little bit. We're going to need black base coat. I'm going to kind of show you the difference between spraying flake on a black base coat compared to like a silver or a gray base coat. So you'll be able to see the difference of contrast, the difference of sparkle that it makes just applying this over a black base coat rather than like a primer or a gray.
Is the high build primer a DTM?
Yes, it is direct metal. Yep.
Anthony said let's get some green in here. It's this close to St. Patty's Day, so he gifted 5 Time Warp memberships.
Oh, I like it.
Hey.
Got paint and the primer is dry. Let's check it out. We've got the black base coat. Okay, black base coat. Nice thing about these cans is they do come with the adjustable fan tip pattern. We're gonna go ahead and I like to have it like 3/4 of the way open. Let's check it out and see. Oh, yeah, that's great. Let's see if we can take it over here if we're able to see the so let's turn this thing all the way open and see what it looks like. There we go. Oh yeah, very nice. Okay, let's take it over to our parts. Okay. Turn this a little bit down. There we go. Everything gets 1 coat to start. Oh, got a little splatter. Got a little bit of let me clean that up.
I don't know if I ever told you the trick for keeping the tips clean, but take any nozzle and put it on the gun cleaner can and clean them out. Works great for keeping them clean.
Can't hear what you said. Can't hear what you said. Oh yeah, gun cleaner. Oh shoot, that's a brilliant idea. Holy crap. Yeah. All right, let me clean this tip up a little bit. Okay, first coat's good. We're gonna let that flash off a little bit longer. So you're gonna need another coat or two. When we do the next coat, we're gonna go ahead and do it the other direction. But so far so good. We'll let that flash off. These ones are, obviously we sprayed those first and it's a little drier.
Why am I getting scratches when I buff? I'm using 3000 grit, and he is wet sanding.
He's still getting sand scratches.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. What does he start the wet sand or the wet sanding with? What grit? Is it 12? You starting with 2000 grit, 1200 grit? What's the exact process? I'd probably need to know that. Let's check that out. Get this drying.
He says 1500.
1500? Yeah, I mean, that's probably what's happening is from the 1500, you should be refining them with 2000 grit. So if I was using 1500, I would step up to 2000 grit and then make sure you sand it all up to 2000 grit and then hit it with the 3000. You shouldn't be having any issues if that's the process. As long as you're 3000 is good enough.
How are we going to see the difference between the black and the silver panels with the flake if they're all black?
I have one already done. We'll show you at the end. Also, hashtag Lyman in the comments. We'll be giving away a can of black base coat and also a can of silver base coat. So that should set up to be able to do your own metal flaking with the cans.
He says he does 1500 to 2000 to the 3000 all wet. And he's still getting scratches.
Huh. Yeah, maybe your clear coat's still a little fresh, but within,
Someone says maybe they're getting stuck, like a little nub stuck on the paper.
That's exactly what can happen. Yep. You get a little bit of dirt, dirt specks or anything kind of contaminants in your sanding pad. I like to sand, even with the 2000 grit, I like to sand in a circle and lessen the pressure. Because the harder you push, really, the deeper the scratches are going. If you can kind of lighten up, make sure you're giving everything a nice rub, and then 3000 grit with a DA sander and really getting aggressive with it to be able to get those scratches out. Because you got to get everything from a 1500 grit up to a 2000, and then up to that 3000 grit. You should be good. You shouldn't be able to see any sand scratches at 3000 grit. All right, let's check these out. I'm gonna go ahead and probably just keep you guys in here. You can peek through the window. Yeah, we're looking good right here. Now I'm stuck. Okay, we got that good enough.
A teeny bit, and
yeah, that's all the way. It's kind of a short tripod.
Line of that big.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Okay. All right, we're gonna give that just a second to dry, and we're able to go straight to the different color flakes. Like I said, we are gonna be using an ice blue, which is just like a very, very light blue, pale blue color. Also a silver metal flake. Silver is the best because really you can apply candies over the top. You could dye it any color you want. If you use like a red metal flake, you're kind of really stuck using either like dark browns, blacks, or purples, because you really can't go any lighter than what the red already is. If that makes sense. Let's go ahead and pop this can open.
Tell them when they get it in my color.
I'm sorry.
Explain to them.
Oh
the
yes.
caps.
Oh yeah. So the cap does show the indication of what color it is. So you can see that the plunger actually goes in here, plunges through there, fills up the can, and that way you're actually able to see what color is in the can. So, all right, get the cap on there. Make sure it's staying okay. Also, making sure you store these upside down. Once you start using them, store them upside down because they can start to get plugged right here if they're into the straw that sucks everything up in there. So store them upside down. Okay, let's jump in there and we'll go ahead and apply the silver metal flake first. We'll do silver on 3 of them, and then the last 2 we'll do a purple and a ice blue. Go ahead.
If I spray a blue metal flake, do I spray a blue candy over it? Seems kind of dumb.
You don't necessarily have to. It will give it more depth because you will have that blue candy over the top. But blue metal flake by itself looks pretty dang good. It doesn't have the depth of what a candy job has. So if you really want to take it next level, using a candy over the top would definitely give it more depth. And yeah, you'll see. We'll have a purple metal flake that'll be similar to what a blue would look like. So you'll be able to check that out. All right. Let's go over here and check this out. Make sure we're spraying good. There we go. All right, that's the first coat. We'll do 2 more with this silver. Same thing here. Okay, let's go grab those couple of other colors. This will need 1 more coat, 1 or 2 more coats on the silver. Let's go grab those other colors and see.
Do you have to spray the flake on the wet base coat?
No, it does not need to go on the wet base coat. It wasn't quite dry on that, but we're fine with that. But yeah, it's preferably it should be completely dry.
Is it holographic flake?
We do have a holographic flake, which is also called a, remind me, Ashley, incandescent? Iridescent. Iridescent. There you go. That does have like a rainbow hue to it. We have that in black and silver in the spray cans. Okay, ice blue. Let's check this out. All right, looking good. You can see that blue hue to it. Put this one off to the side. We're gonna do a couple more coats. Let's go ahead and roll that purple.
They said I get the cats, but they were just wondering if I could spread the flake on days after base coat, not the premix flake.
Yep. Yep, that's fine. Let's give this thing a shake. If your can ever gets like kind of clogged, what you want to do is just turn it upside down, blast it out a couple of times. Sometimes you can get a little clogged with the flake. I think we're good there now. All right. See that purple. That'll really start to shine up once we get another couple coats on there and then get some clear coat. We'll go back over here and do the last coats of the silver. Oh, not that one. Whoa, easy there. Okay, looking good, looking good. Almost screwed it up. Let's get this cap on here. Now I got a little purple overspray on this. Okay, we're good there. And we have the purple here.
Will the flake lay differently on horizontal surfaces than it will on vertical surfaces?
Less chance of running, but really it's going to be about the same. Good, looking good. Give that a second to flash off, and we'll get ready to spray out some 2K clear coat on this.
So I'm doing my first spray, line the metal flake on new off the center of the helmet to spray the flake and use the black as a base coat?
Yep, you could. Yep, you're right on the right track. If you already have the black surface and it's paintable, it's already been painted and cleared, you can just scrub that down. Use that as your black base coat, because that's really all you need. Works really well that way.
I like the purple.
Yeah, the purple's cool. It's one of my favorite, actually. I do like the turquoise one we have as well.
But that's not what you're using today. Turquoise.
I'm not using a turquoise, no. I'm using the ice blue. 3 of them are the silver, and then we do have that one that's purple. We're just going to give it a second, let it flash off, and we're going to go ahead and try out. So like I said, this can has already been opened for 2 days now. You should probably check out and make sure this is going to spray okay. Grab something to spray on.
What are all the colors you have in the flake?
We have 13 different colors. We have 3 different kinds of blue. We have regular blue, ice blue, sky blue. We have an orange. We have the pink, red, purple. You can see we have a bronze. We have a root beer brown, gold. Pretty much all the colors. Black, red,
green,
red, black, iridescent, silver, iridescent, silver, obviously. So yeah, let's see how this sprays. Oh yeah. So really, like I said, this is the one that's been in the fridge for a little bit. But you can see when they start, you see how it's shiny right there. When they start to go bad, it starts to cobweb on you. But so far, the cans have lasted over 12 hours, and this one has been 2 days because it's been in the shop refrigerator. So I popped it open 2 days ago. Still good. So even if you were to clear with this, you still have another half a can, throw it in your shop refrigerator, and you're good to go ahead and use it again, as long as it's not cobwebbing out. Once it starts to dry, it'll eventually dry completely in the can if it's not all the way used. But until it starts as long as it's spraying smooth and laying out, we're good to go. We're good to go. Still use this.
Where can they buy these?
The line, it's available on Amazon, so you can search out the Double Shot on Line. You can check the affiliate site. Timemark affiliate site. We have that on there. The Flakes, same. You also find them on Amazon, eBay, and the best place really is the Shopify website. Just find that at limelinepaintsupply.com.
Do you have any videos of making different candy colors with mixing them together?
Yes, we do. We have one on root beer brown. We have one on brandy wine. You can go back and watch those. So basically, root beer brown is going to be the blue, the red, and the gold, but you need to double the gold, and then you'll have a root beer brown, because the gold is not as intense of a color, so you need twice as much of the gold in order to make that nice root beer color. If not, you're going to have like a greenish, kind of a greenish color.
Is this meant to be a replacement for the big gun?
Nope. This is meant for small jobs, for those guys that are they don't want to get involved in the equipment, because you really could take a paint job all the way from bare metal to a custom paint job using just spray cans, and actually doing it in a more professional way, because it is the 2 parts. The chemical reaction between the part A and the part B is what's important here, because that's what hardens harder, and it shells up a lot harder, and it's just more resistance to not only road debris. It's chemically hardened, so like if gasoline or something gets on there, it's not going to eat away at the paint. It's actually going to be dry enough and hard enough that it's going to be able to resist some of that stuff.
How much of your blue candy concentrate do I need for an FXR tape, fenders, side covers, and fairing?
You might be able to get away with the 4 ounce because once again it's a concentrate, so that's going to make 3 times the amount of that 4 ounces. If you're going to use it, I would say get the 16-ounce candy. It's going to be a better bang for your buck, anyways. You're going to get a lot more material there, and you won't run out. So the 16 ounce is what I would recommend.
Did I hear that right? If you're spraying Flake on a tank that's already black, you can use the tank's paint for the base?
Yep, that's right. Yep. As long as the base has been prepped, you would need to get rid of any kind of pinstripes or rock chips or anything like that. You could even say like you had a rock chip or you had to sand down to a little bit in the primer or something. You could just touch it up a little bit with black base too in that area, and then go straight to Flake. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it actually would be preferred because you got less mill thickness. If you don't need to put the paint down, there'd be no reason to even do it. Okay, I think we're ready. Let's go ahead and put we'll see how this clear coat sprays out. Like I said, this is 2 days old, been in the fridge. Let's check it out. Yeah, it'll last 3 weeks. Oh, okay. Once again, this was the 2-part, popped open. There's already in the can. Let's go ahead and see what this looks like. Oh yeah, okay, so same thing, all the way open.
Shouldn't 1K stuff dry a lot longer before clearing?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Shouldn't 1K stuff dry a lot longer before clearing?
1K. Yeah, I mean it was actually pretty dry where I applied that. It was probably slightly wet. We're gonna get away with it, breaking a little bit of rules, but it would be better to wait till it's all the way dry. But really, no problems with that. It was pretty much dry.
He said, "Wow, that lays down a really nice fan for a run."
Yeah, it does. The fan pattern on that is great. Well, I'll show you a couple things here. So you can see, it's laying out pretty good, but there's still see the specks on there. So we're gonna need another coat. See right here where I didn't quite get it as good, but you can see those metal flakes are kind of hanging up just a little bit still. So we're gonna need another 1 to 2 coats on this to be able to knock that down.
How bad is it?
See the difference between the silver and the ice blue? That just has a little bit of a bluish tint to it.
How bad is the orange peel with the can? Can you cut and buff it the same?
You can cut it. You can cut and buff it within 24 hours, as long as it's you have the parts within 70 degrees. What was the other question?
How bad is the orange peel?
The orange peel actually on this stuff is it lays out really good, as you can see. You know, we did have the texture there from the metal flake, because when the metal flake gets applied, you know, sometimes the flakes kind of land up in, and they're up a little bit taller. So we do need to level that out a little bit more with clear coat. So, you know, once it dries here, we'll lay another coat. The nice thing is these are laying flat. So we're going to be able to get away with adding a little bit heavier coats, because we're not really worried about running it, because it doesn't really have anywhere to run. It's just going to kind of level out. It might kind of come off the sides a little bit. No worries on that. You would want to take it much slower if you had like a tank hanging up, you know, because you got to paint all the way around it. Doing lighter coats, building it up with more lighter coats would be a better option. We're slamming it on here because we really can. We can get away with it because they're all laying flat. But you know, don't let that give you the wrong impression, because really lighter coats built up is a better way to do it. You're going to use less material and you're going to get the job done faster.
Completely off topic. If I'm doing the water drop effect, I do black from the bottom, and do I do the color that is under the drop?
Yeah, it all depends on what you want it to look like. Both ways are going to look fine. Most people that I know will put the highlight on the bottom of the bubble. So wherever the light, because the light kind of shines through the water, and then it actually highlights the under, like the belly of the drop. So highlighting it from the bottom, where you usually put a shadow, and then I usually shadow it from the top. But you can do it either way. It's just making sure you hit it one direction with that highlight and the other direction with a shadow.
Sergio sent a $10 super chat and said, "Thanks for all your help and great advice for some of us non-painters."
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate that, Sergio.
Thanks for the super chat.
Yeah, appreciate that. That's I mean, I'm glad we're able to launch these products, because, like I said, there's a lot of obstacles you have to overcome when it comes to custom paint. You have to make sure you have a good compressor. You need to make sure you have spray equipment. You need to know how to mix your paint, how to thin it out. The nice thing about the spray cans is really, they're already mixed up. Pretty much everybody knows how to push a button, and it's all about just being light with it, not trying to get it done in one coat. So like I said, what we're doing here is a little bit on the extreme side. Build it up in more coats, you'll be fine. And with the process we're doing, you're still going to get a professional finish.
What's the dry time before you can sand? I found that with some 2K clears in a can, it doesn't dry very quick and stays gummy for a while.
It can. Some 2Ks in the can claim to be 2K, but there's still one part in the can, and I have had issues with that before. But as far as 2K in the can, I haven't had any issues. It usually dries just as fast as any regular clear coat does. But yeah, if that's the case, wait a little bit longer. Yeah, make sure you're shaking up your can good enough. At least 2 minutes shaking up the can to make sure that both those components are mixed together good enough. Because if you don't get them mixed together good enough, you know, more hardener is going to come out first, and then you got some problems with the components not being mixed equal, which could cause shrinking, adhesion problems, and gumminess.
Should we spin?
Yeah, let's go ahead and spin it. We're going to spin the wheel. Somebody's going to win the can of the double shot. 2 parts in 1 can. No tools needed. And then also the silver metal flake. That's going to get you started. And yeah, good luck to you. Line into the comments. All right, who we got? Good luck, everybody. Salty Rider. All right, congrats. Shoot us a email. Let us know your address. info@limelinepaintsupply.com. Let us know that you won. We'll get your package out to you. Hang on, we'll do one more giveaway at the end. So stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. We're just about done with this. We're going to hit it with one more coat. We should be good. And we'll give that last one away and take a look at these. All right.
See how nice that laid over.
When you're looking for orange peel, what you want to do is look at this light right here. You can see how it's kind of just shifting a little bit. It's a little bit fuzzy. We just have a little bit of orange peel on here. It's not too bad though. This would be good enough to lay out graphics on. And so we'd sand it and lay out graphics, and we're good to re-clear again. Go ahead and do this one. Yes. There. Now, orange peel is like a natural thing that really it happens on all paint jobs. Everybody has a little bit amount of orange peel. Some of it's so slick that it's kind of almost gone. But orange peel can be caused by spraying. If you spray your first coats really light and you allow them to tack off for longer than what you should, it could create a texture on there that could create an orange peel later once you get enough coats on there. Some of the best painters, what they'll do is instead of painting the top coat, they'll go ahead and they'll spray it. It's a little risky. They'll spray it heavy to start and slick it up right out, and then usually that would get rid of all orange peel. But having too thick of paint will make orange peel. Having too low of pressure will make orange peel. Having your gun set up wrong will make orange peel. There's a lot of variables that go along with orange peel. So it could be all of those things. Not enough air is probably one of the big ones as well. So you just kind of have to check all of those. But orange peel is a pretty natural thing When you're a custom painter, you're going to cut and buff this like we did last week, and make sure it's all the way slicked out, mirrored out. That way we're getting rid of all the orange peel and any of like the little debris that may fall into the paint job while you're painting. Because nothing's flawless. You see that my boot's not completely clean, but we're getting away with it. No big deal. Everything will get cut and buffed coming out of this shop.
What clear coat can is that? And then someone said that can holds a lot.
The can does all of that. Keep in mind that was only 3/4 of a can, and there's still a little bit left in there. It actually does quite a bit. Yes, this is the new double shot 2K clear coats. Two components in the can. You pull and release right here. So there's a ring that slips in into this lug right here. So you would pull and twist 360 degrees, and then what it's going to do is going to release the other component into it. Now you have two components. The only thing is you do need to spray it within 12 hours unless you're putting it in the fridge, and what we used there was a little over 2 days. And it probably would have lasted longer if we would have kept it in the fridge. So no problems with that. If you plan on using just a little portion and you know you're going to use it the next day, throw it in the refrigerator. You're going to be able to use the same can.
Should I use an adhesion promoter for every layer of paint, graphics, and clear, or just at the start before the base coat?
Yes. So adhesion promoter is only really meant for as a starter. Like you wouldn't put it in between your base coats and your clear coats. Those are all designed to work together. So if you're spraying down just a base coat, your next layers are going to stick to it, whether it's more base coat, because you could maybe be putting a graphic over top of that, or whether it's clear coat. Those components are going to bind together without any kind of adhesion promoter or anything between it. You don't need to sand it. You don't need to do anything. Just it's good to go. They're going to melt together. If you do spray base coat, you do want to kind of do something within a couple of weeks. That base coat does harden up, and it doesn't accept other clear coats and base coats if it's been sitting for a really long time, 2 weeks plus or even longer. So yeah, if you have a project and you know it's going to sit, hit it with some clear coat, let it dry, and then when you're ready to do the next layer, you would go ahead and scuff that clear coat down, not off, just scuff it down, clean it up, and you're ready to do another layer right on top of it. So you can use this stuff as a safety layer, a barrier, if you will, between different coats. You just need to make sure you let it dry. And once it dries, you can sand it smooth, and that's going to give you the adhesion that you need to do more base coat and whatever else you need to do. So yeah, once again, the adhesion promoter is just for either plastics, metals, stuff like that. We could have used an adhesion promoter here and skipped the primer. Personally, I like the primer better, considering it's just aluminum. If it was a steel panel, you would definitely want to lay down a primer.
Do you make an intercoat clear in a can as well?
We are going to offer a intercoat clear in a can. Yep. And you can kind of use that the same way. If you need to slick it out, you can just spray a clear base coat or intercoat clear right over the top of that.
How long will you need to wait for graphics on these panels?
These panels, we wait till tomorrow for the clear coat to dry. We would sand it smooth, and then we're good to go taping off and doing graphics. All right, want to take another peek in here, and we'll get ready to spin that wheel.
Yep.
Okay, let's see what these things look like. We could also shut the lights off in here and see what it looks like with the flash on. I don't know if I want to have a flash on, actually. So there is the purple flake. We got the ice blue. It just has a little bit of a blue tint to it. You can see compared to the silver. That was laid out really nice. I don't know, which one's your favorite? Everybody's kind of looking at the purple. The purple would be great too, because once this is good and dry, we could sand this smooth, and we could lay out our lines, and we could lay out, say, a purple candy, or even a blue candy would have kind of still turned to a purple, and you would have some like a type of ghost graphics that would look great. Also, a black candy would work great as well. The blue ice blue metal flake, same thing, just a little bit of a blue tint to it, but sand, smooth, lay out the graphics, and you're good to go with any candy colors on top of that.
So are you offering different color of flakes now?
Yep, there is. We do have different flakes available. We have 13 different flakes. We also do have, if you haven't seen yet, we do have ready to spray metal flake in the cans. We have those in pints, quarts, and gallons. So if you guys don't even want to mess with mixing up the flake, we do have them already. So here's the limelight flake. We do have them already mixed up into the binder and also into the reducer. So you don't have to do anything. This ready to spray metal flake is ready to go straight in your gun, spray out, you're good to flake.
How does it handle pulling of the paint lines?
The clear coat? The clear coat's going to handle just fine. As long as you followed a proper method of primering it and getting it all prepped, you should not have any problem with paint peeling on this at all.
You have new dry flake? When did this happen?
Well, that is the dry flake we've had for quite a while. We do have more colors of dry flake coming in a mini flake. We're going to have also 13 variations of dry flake as well that you could use. So you're going to be able to, depends on how you spray. If you don't have any equipment and you want to get your parts done, or you want to maybe get your feet wet, you can get a spray can system. And you'll be able to get the job done that way too. And you wouldn't need to invest in guns and compressors and all of the other paint supplies, reducers, cleaners. It's right there in the can, ready to go.
I love these, and I want to see more colors. They said that the purple with the ice blue fake look good.
Yeah, I kind of have that a little bit on there.
Huh. And then someone says, I like my dry flake. Can't wait for new color.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I've always been a fan of silver flake because you can really do anything you want with silver flake. You can always tint it with any color of candy, and then you have those nice, clean silver pinstripes as well, so it has nice contrast. But if you're looking for something a little more subtle, you want to do graphics on like this purple right here, you can always use candy purple on that in a graphic, and it would kind of be like a ghost style. It would be pretty cool looking. Especially if you're gonna maybe shadow with a black candy as well, to accent, little spots that look like they'd be tucking in, naturally have a shadow. You can really make these paint jobs look 3D.
They said they'd like to see it in the sunlight, see it sparkle.
Yeah, I mean the booth doesn't do it justice. These booth lights, literally, they don't help out. But yeah, sunlight's the best. I love metal flake on cars and bikes, like at nighttime under street lights. I just feel like it's just a good look because you have the nighttime, those candies and the metal flakes, they really kind of hide, they kind of turn dark, and then once there's just little bits of light, it really brightens up.
So you should do that one paint night so we can see what it looks like.
See all the colors or what?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you meant in the sunlight or what.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean, John?
Yeah, definitely.
Turn off the lights, get your cell or Ash's cell phone, or use the flashlight.
Yeah, it does. That really does make a difference. Actually, we probably will do that before we leave. And we're about at that time, huh? We gave away 2 things already?
No, one.
Oh, okay.
Want to spin the wheel?
Yeah, we're gonna spin it, and then we'll do that. Actually, we'll shut off the lights, and I'll use.
My phone.
I got my phone right there too.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Good luck, everybody. All right, who do we got?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, shoot. So, I forgot that shuts off the router.
Here you go.
Who we got?
I dated a kid with this last name, so I can say it.
Really say it
Say
there.
it.
I can't say it.
Say it.
You dated him. Come on.
Try it.
Come on.
Say it.
I'm not going to say it.
Sepulveda.
Wow, you got it.
What does he win?
He wins the double shot and also the silver as well. So you'll win those 2 spray cans. We can't shut off the lights in this thing. It shuts off the router, unfortunately. So, but hey, maybe I can show them maybe in a video or something. Let's check it out. Also, if you guys are in the Salt Lake City area this weekend, we will be set up at the Auto Rama in Salt Lake City. If you want to go there, if you're local, we'll be teaching how to lay out tape. We'll have some airbrushes set out. You're going to be able to practice and learn and talk to us. I have a couple of my buddies that are also airbrush artists, Weston and Brian Lindley from Art Smash. Both excellent artists. You'll be able to see what they do, and they'll also be there to help you out as well. So we're here to help people learn and spread the word. Okay, so I think that's it. We go live every Thursday night, same time. We'll be here next Thursday as well. I think the following Thursday we'll be on out of town. But yeah, let us know what you want to see next week. Maybe I'll do it. I was thinking either more spray paint, maybe doing something with a Transformers. What's that Transformer? The yellow one? Honeybee? No.
No. Bee.
Bee?
I don't know. I know it's a bee. So.
Bumblebee.
Bumblebee.
So I was thinking about doing something on a hood design with Bumblebee design, with the yellows and the blacks, maybe using the spray paint, maybe do the Transformers logo. That way you can kind of see the process, whether you like that thing or not. But yeah, that was an idea that had come to my mind. If you thought of something different, throw it to me.
I missed it. What are we gonna do?
I was thinking about doing a honeybee. What was it?
Bumblebee.
Bumblebee. A bumblebee inspired paint job.
Oh.
Maybe kind of like you know how like the bumblebees, like it has the bright yellow, but it's all kind of roughed up.
Someone said you should do the cheetah print I have on.
Yeah.
Hey.
I think it's.
Have you seen me?
Yeah, I have that stencil actually. But yeah, any ideas you guys have, or there's stuff you want me to do, hey, I'll do it. Just let us know. Hit me up on Instagram. Like always, info@limelinepaintsupply.com is our email. Limeline Paint Supply is our e-commerce address. So click on that. All the supplies is right there. Amazon, eBay, Walmart. We're on all the platforms. So appreciate the support. Give us a rating. That's probably the best thing that you can do for us if you want to help us out. We always use reviews on Amazon. If you're buying from the Shopify website, you may get an email asking if you got your stuff. And if you want to do a review, any kind of photo review, video review, we totally appreciate that. That's probably the best thing you can do for us, whether it's on Amazon, eBay, or anything. Those reviews really mean a lot to us moving forward. So, okay, I think that's it for tonight.
You said flashlight time. Can we keep it on the phone?
No, I have to shut out the lights, and it really shuts off the router.
But it messes up on your phone?
Yeah, because it's hooked to that router right there.
Oh, you can't hook to the house one?
Unfortunately not. Hey, if you're part of the membership program on YouTube, I'll go ahead and shoot you guys a video, and I'll post that. Okay, that's it. We'll see you guys next Thursday. Unless you're headed out to Auto Rama, we'll see you there.
Wait, are we gonna be here next Thursday?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Okay.
Good night, guys.
All right. Take care,
Have a good
everybody.
weekend.
Thanks for being here.